What's going on, guys? Got another comic book haul video for you. Got a pretty substantial stack of books here, just pickups from a couple local comic shops and that pop-up garage sale that I go to a couple times during the summer when they're open. So I will just get started here. These are just pickups from probably the last month or so. So we'll get started here with the books from the pop-up shop. This is the guy that and his son, they open up their garage during the summer months and they have a lot of toys and comic books and DVDs and stuff. So they have a bunch of dollar books and some priced books. So I got a little mishmash of a few of those. So I'll start off with the priced books. This one is Transformers the movie, $3 for this for number 2. It's a newsstand edition. Just came up on the 37th, good lord, 37th anniversary of this movie. It came out in 86, sometime in August. So I feel super old since this is the 37th anniversary of this movie, and I remember seeing it as a kid. So I've got 2 and 3 of this now. The first one I do not have yet, but I've managed to find 2 and 3. For this one was $3. I think the third one, number 3, I found was $1. So I'll keep my eyes open for number 1. Still a great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Still think it holds up much more than most of those movies from the 80s and early 90s that were based on toys. But could be biased. Transformers has a special place in my heart. So, just check it out. It's fun nonetheless. Speaking of special place in my heart, got a Ninja Turtles Adventure number 50 newsstand. This one was $4. Which I thought was a good price until I opened up the bag. The back is pretty chewed up, unfortunately. The front, there's a couple spine ticks on there, but for $4, I'm not going to complain. Then another Ninja Turtles Adventure. This is number 30, another newsstand. Got that one for $3.50, and I'll finish it off with at number 24 in newsstand for $4. I think this is the first cover appearance of Slash. He's the snapping turtle right there. His first appearance was the issue before this, and I think he's kind of like in shadow or something on that cover. And I didn't open up number 23 to look to see if he's like got the cameo on the last page or not. But this is pretty much I think this is his first cover where you can see all of him. So I thought that was cool. Picked up a couple of these Renato Jones books, just Carrie Andrews early stuff. Got number 4 and number 3. I think there's 2 miniseries of this. I got the first issues of both of the miniseries, I think, so just trying to complete those. Those were 50 cents each. He's got a couple of 50-cent boxes, so grab those. This is 9 Princes in Amber, number 1. This is based on Roger Zelazny books. He did a series of these Amber books back in the late 80s, early 90s that I read that had a lot to do with tarot cards. It was kind of an interesting conceit, I guess. There was like parallel worlds where these princes could travel between, or this royal family could travel between, and the story focused on Corwin, who was one of the princes who was like, I can't remember if he was going to like inherit the kingdom or whatever, but he comes to Earth a lot, and they use the tarot cards to travel, I think. I'm not big into fantasy, but it was before I read Lord of the Rings, so interesting book. And this was book 1 of 3, so it's the first time I'd seen this, so snagged that one for $1. Next, I got this one. This is $1 as well. This Demon Skull number 1. I thought the signature on there, I thought it might be a Bruce Timm, because you see the B, and I thought that might be a T going through there, but it's Butch Burcham, who does Cave Woman. He also did that Space Vixens book I showed. Gosh, maybe it's been a year, I don't know. Just the art style just caught my eye, so I grabbed it. It was only $1, why not? This is a weird one. The collected purple photography of Von Bode and Berni Wrightson. Apparently this is based on Von Bode. He did a adult comic strip for a competitor of Playboy, and then he convinced Berni Wrightson to do some of the artwork for it, so it's pretty risque, not safe for work, but some of the Berni Wrightson stuff is pretty entertaining. He's got that very distinctive style. And you can see there's kind of weird stuff going on with mermaids and these people in the diving suits. So it's kind of an anthology book. There's some horror stuff, I guess, more along Wrightson's wheelhouse. Kind of Frankenstein-looking dude there. So just interesting kind of book that I'll pick up whenever I see it, just because you don't see this stuff too often, especially for cheap. So it was $1.50, so can't go wrong with that. Got Simon Bisley's scrapbook for $2. Again, another little anthology series, just some standalone stories and some pinups in there from the Bizman. And then I picked up a big chunk of these Anita Blake books that I started collecting. This is The Laughing Corpse #1. This is actually, I don't know what series of comics this is, but this is The Laughing Corpse is the second novel. I've got that right here, actually. This is what I'm currently reading. I read the first book, Guilty Pleasures, and enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying The Laughing Corpse as well. So I'm picking up all these. That's Ron Lim doing the cover and the interior, and the rest of these are the Guilty Pleasure books. This is based on the first novel. These are all Brett Booth interiors, so I was really happy to find all these for $1. It was fun just kind of seeing the illustrated version of the book after I've read it. So I was thumbing through it. It's like a pretty faithful adaptation. Just kind of throwaway, there's not a lot of depth to these plots or anything. It's just fun vampire and horror type stuff. So I was happy to find all those for $1. Next, I got this All Winners Squad Band of Heroes #1. The only reason I grabbed this one is because it's a newsstand. And it says, I guess these old Marvel newsstands, they still have Marvel Team Up, even though that's not what it is. I was looking on eBay, the prices, there was one sold, I think, for like $20 recently, but people have it listed for like $40 and $50, so I may just try to sell it. It's for like $20 or something. Next, got Alibaba #1, Scourge of the Desert. Just grabbed this because it's an early Dale Keown cover. This was before, I think this was right before he started working on The Pit, because this is 92, so it's black and white on the interiors. He doesn't do any of the interior art, just the cover. And then the last one I got from the pop-up shop there is this 52 Week 31. I just grabbed this one because it's got, I thought the whole interior was done by Freddie Williams, but he just does the last 2 pages, which is the origin of Robin. Just kind of a brief summary of how Robin came to be Robin, and then like some of his stats and some recommended reading. So it was only $1, can't complain too much, but it's got some good Freddie Williams goodness in there. And then okay, so this next stack of books is from a local comic shop called The Zone here in Louisville. They just, I think back in January, they basically got rid of all their back issues. They sold them all to one collector or one retail. I don't know who they sold them to, but they got rid of basically 90% of their back issues, so they're slowly refilling their stock. So this was the first time I'd been back. I went back in March, and they only had like maybe 3 or 4 long boxes full of stuff, so I didn't get anything back then. But I went a couple weeks ago, and they had a much more stock, so I got a bunch of Transformers stuff for cover price. This one was $4, Transformers Death of Optimus Prime. This is cover B. And then I got this Deviations subscription cover. I read through this one. This is basically what happens if a hot rod does not interfere with the battle between Prime and Megatron in the Transformers movie, the animated movie, actually, I was talking about earlier. So when that Prime gets killed in basically the opening scene, so when this cup squashes on Hot Rod, so Hot Rod can't interfere, so Prime kills Megatron, then Starscream takes over the Decepticons, and then he becomes Mega Scream because he gets extra powers from Unicron instead of Megatron turning into Galvatron. Basically the ending is the same. Hot Rod ends up sacrificing himself, and he dies instead of Optimus at the end of this story. So it's kind of an interesting take on it. Definitely fun reading through it, because it just basically retells the whole story of the movie from '86 if Prime had not died. So it's pretty cool. That one was $5, and this one was $4. Just a subscription cover for this Transformers Regeneration 1, number 96. Just a blank sketch cover. So apparently this Regeneration 1, I didn't know this, it says number 96 up there. They took over the numbering when IDW, I guess, first got the license, like they did with G.I. Joe. They just took the numbering over from the Marvel series. Like the Marvel series for Transformers ended at issue 80. So the first issue of this Regeneration 1 series that IDW did was number 81, I think. They did like a free comic book day, 80 and a half, but then I think the first one that they sold was number 81. So this is number 96. I just got the sketch cover because, you know, my idea one day is to get some cool sketches done. The artwork on this interior is really cool. It's done by Guido Guidi, which is sounds like a character of Italian name, but, you know, really good artwork in there. I was really impressed. So I might try to see. I've seen these Regeneration 1 books before, but didn't really know what they were, so I might try to start collecting them now if I can find them for cheap. This one was $15. This is the 1 in 10 retailer incentive from the Transformers 2019 relaunch, I guess, that IDW did, that recently came to an end when they lost the license. But just love Freddie Williams drawing Transformers, so anytime I find an incentive for relatively cheap, I'll grab it. Got this one for cover price, which was $4. It's Heroes for Hire second printing, Heroes for Hire number 1 second printing variant. I read through that. That was kind of a fun story too. And then the last one from the Zone is this Ghost Rider, Garth Ennis and Clayton Crane miniseries. It's nice, kind of a wraparound cover there. Just some fun Clayton Crane art. Garth Ennis is one of my favorite writers, so them teaming up, you can't go wrong with that. Alright, then let's see. Next stack of books here is from Comic Book World, and these first few are from the Dollar Bin. Necromancer number 5. Yeah, I got the first 3 issues of this at Comic-Con in Lexington back in, gosh, when was that? February or March, I think. They had some cool Greg Horn covers. And I think this is only like a 5 or 6 issue series, so I found number 5 in the Dollar Bin, so I grabbed that. Then I got Firstborn number 2. This is the cover. No, it's not cover A. I guess there's like 3 or 4 covers to this. I got 2 of them. So this is just set in the Witchblade and Darkness universe. It's got a cool Stefan Sejic. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he did the cover. Ron Mars writes it, and then this is a Dale Keown cover of the same issue. I like that one a little better, but for $1, can't go wrong. Then picked up some priced books here. This is Astonishing Ant-Man number 12. This is the Defenders variant, drawn by Saya Oum of Lola fame, one of the artists that I've come to like a lot in the last couple years. So she's got a very distinctive style, so I saw this and immediately recognized it as hers. I thought it might be like an incentive variant since it was $8, but I looked at it and it's not. I think this was just like a B cover. And the reason I guess it was $8 is this is the first appearance of Darren Cross's Yellow Jacket. So minor key there, I guess, but I just got it for the cover. And then I found another Siawoom cover, this X-23 number 11. Again, not an incentive or anything, just a cool B cover. And then this one is an incentive. This is Fantastic Four 578. These are the Iron Man by Design. They did a whole series of these, I guess, around the time maybe one of the Iron Man movies came out or some Iron Man anniversary. But this is kind of like looks like a steampunk Iron Man or something, drawn by cannot talk, Gerard Perel. I don't know. The guy's last name is Perel. This was $5. I think these were all some kind of incentive. I think this one might have been a 1 in 10 or something, but just a cool rendition of Iron Man there. I thought was nice. Got a Masamune Shiro book. This one was $2. This is the Dominion Conflict 1 No More Noise. Just picking up these whenever I can find them cheap. Found nice couple issues of Danger Girl. This is a Alex Garner cover. This is Trinity number 1. This is the subscription cover. I grabbed all these because Harvey Tolobal does the interior art. And let's see, this is Danger Girl, The Chase. This is the subscription cover. These are all the subscription covers for these other two. They're just photo covers. But I don't see these Danger Girl books a lot out in the wild for cover price. So these were all just 25 cents above cover price. So snagged those. Kind of a goofy one here. These Aberrant books. I'm not even sure what the story is, but a couple of videos ago I had ones with the Wienermobile and then another one with Billy D. Williams. And this one has a stuffed Alf on it talking to a lady asking if she's got a cigarette. So I flipped through the interiors of this. It does have a stuffed Alf in there that this guy's carrying around at some point after he's been traumatized. But just thought it was a really funny cover. This was another one that caught my eye. Just a really nice Bill Sienkiewicz cover. It's Fantastic Four, let's see, Legacy number 653. It's number 8 of some, I think it came out 2019. But I think this is a 1 in 25 variant. This one was $20. Just I was just flipping through the Fantastic Four back issues. I usually don't because there's not a ton in there that really I'm looking for, but I was just killing time, I guess, flipping through stuff that I hadn't flipped through before, and this one, it stopped me while I was flipping. Just the cover was just stunning, I thought. So it does not look like your typical Bill Sienkiewicz cover. It's not as abstract as his stuff normally is, which is fine. I like his abstract stuff, but I also like his more traditional stuff, like his work on the early Moon Knight books. That was great too, and this is just a beautiful Invisible Woman cover. Next, just a funny First Strike book. This Hasbro IDW crossover. It's got cartoon Soundwave on there, and this is actually an incentive, probably a 1 in 10, like most of those IDWs that I can find for cheap. This one was $4.25. Just grabbed this because it was goofy Soundwave being a lawyer on there. Found some more Transformers books. Got number 8 from Volume 1 for $3. I thought that was a great price until I found out that it was a second printing. So still pretty good price. It's in better condition than the one I have. I have a first printing that's in a little lower grade than this. So not quite as good of a deal as I thought it was, but still a good deal for $3. And then I found number 21, the first printing. This one was $2.50. This is the first appearance of the aerial bots, the Autobots that could fly, which is a bit of a misnomer, but whatever, got to sell those toys. And then I got 22 in a newsstand as well, just the Marvel 25th anniversary cover. And then the last one from Comic Book World is number 43 in a newsstand. It's Rodimus Prime battling out with Galvatron. And that's such an ugly picture of Galvatron. I don't know. The art in these old Transformers books is not nearly as good as it is on the modern ones, but the older ones are more nostalgic than the newer ones, so kind of collect them for different reasons, but it's all Transformers, so I'll collect as much as I want, as long as I can find something to like. And then the last stack of books here are dollar books. I think they're mostly dollar books. Yeah, mostly dollar books and then a magazine. The dollar books are from Pops, another local store here in Louisville. That's where I get my new books. They put out a few new long boxes of dollar books, so I went digging through those and found a couple of Sleepwalker issues. I got number 20 and 23. And then I found this cool Strangers in Paradise when it went to Homage Comics. This is where's the signature? Jim Lee doing Strangers in Paradise. So this is the main cover. You open it up like that and read it. But then if you flip it over, it's got the Jim Lee cover on the back. So I thought that was pretty cool. It even has the number 1 there on the bottom left. So if you're flipping through and you're looking for this, just be aware that it'll probably be in the back issue bin like that. But it's got Jim Lee cover on the back, so it's pretty cool. Then a couple of Nocteras. I got number 5, 2 versions of number 5. These are like covers B and C, I think. I already have the main cover, so I just grabbed those. Really like that one. It's a cool Tony Daniel cover. He does the interior art on all this on all these Noctera books, so I've been enjoying that. It's a new series. Got an Adam Hughes cover on this Ghost special, and a cool David Finch, Grant Morrison collaboration here. This Batman the Return, it's a one-shot. David Finch did the cover, and he does all the interior art as well, so that was a nice little surprise. And then the last dollar book is this Deathstroke the Terminator number 11. I thought this was the first appearance of Deathstroke's daughter, but that's number 15, I guess. This is just a cool Mike Zeck cover with him, with Deathstroke kissing the new Lady Vigilante. So I think I'm going to try to collect the whole series for this Deathstroke the Terminator, because Mike Zeck did the covers on a ton of them, and he's one of my favorites. So, and I already got number 1. That's the most expensive one, I think. So I should be able to find the rest of them for pretty cheap. And then the last book here is a magazine I got from Great Escape, another local comic shop. This was, let's see, Heavy Metal from May 2001. Picked this one up for $6. And the reason I grabbed this one, excuse the ripping opening, this is the first appearance of the Fistful of Blood series that Kevin Eastman did, kind of the takeoff of the Man with No Name, the old Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone movies from the 60s and 70s. And let's see, this came out a bit before that. It's got Kevin Eastman and Simon Bisley doing that, and this is in, I think it's in black and white. Yeah, it's in black and white. Oh, can't show any of this. Lots of nudity. We'll get to it. Still lots of nudity. Okay, well, show probably the least nudity on that page, but it's black and white. So I don't know, but I really enjoyed the Fistful of Blood series. So I was happy to find this for $6, which is probably cover price. I don't know. These heavy metals go for like 10 or 15 bucks new now. So yeah, cover price on this one was $5. So you can find some fun stuff in these old magazines, such as that, and some like the earlier versions of stuff that gets converted into or adapted into full series of comics. So I was happy to find that. And then I've got a couple more of these on my list, these heavy metals, because Kevin Eastman did some covers that I'm on the lookout for. And then they actually had a heavy metal number 1 at that pop-up shop in the guy's garage, where that first stack of books came from. He was selling it for $50. It wasn't in great shape, but that was probably a fair price for what it was and the condition. So that's something I'll keep in the back of my brain if I ever want to go back and grab that. But for now, this is the first heavy metal book or magazine that I've got in my collection. So happy to add it to the collection. All right, that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.